Oh my god, it's been a minute. I hope everyone's okay. I'm back and I'm home, which is awesome. I'm so happy to be home. And today we're gonna have a look at the imports that I received while I was at my in-laws' house. I'm gonna show you one of each kind that I got because I have chopped some and I got multiples of others. I'm also gonna tell you the price. And I want you to keep in mind that the cost of shipping and the conversion rate from USD to Canadian dollars and kind of everything has gone up a little bit. So actually my actual cost, my overall actual cost was 2.7 times what the quoted USD cost was from Aleyagardens. So I imported 24 plants. It came to around 300 Canadian dollars altogether with kind of bank fees and just everything in, and that came to $12.50, an average of $12.50 per plant. So I'm gonna share with you what the USD cost was as quoted by Aleyagardens and then what my overall cost for each plant was after fees and kind of everything else. Hey, before I get into showing you the imports that I got, I want you to leave me a comment answering this question. So if you saw your wishlist plant for sale, and let's say one of them was $20 and one of them was $40, and the $20 one was a recent import that had only been in the country, let's say 2 weeks, so you were going to acclimate it, and the $40 one had already been acclimated, so let's say in the country for 6 months, new growth, looking awesome. Which one would you buy? Would you take a chance on the one that you're going to acclimate if you had support of the person that had brought it in? Or would you invest in the one that had already been acclimated? And I use $20 and $40, but it could be like, you know, $50 and $125. You know what I mean? Like there could be a big difference between those costs. Would you take a chance? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really super interested to know. We're going to start with Hoya Wilyiana Varigata. This was a small cutting, 2 to 5 centimeters or one node. It was actually 2 nodes, so I did chop this. I have one of these already for myself, so I wanted to chop this so that I could, so I'll sell little bundles, like Wilyiana bundles, and I want to include this one, but it's also very pretty. Now, the one I had under my Mother Life grow lights, very close, quite close to it. Yeah, relatively close, and it has sun stress, but not nicely like the Wilyiana does. Yeah, it doesn't look great. I'll put in some B-roll if I can. So the cost of this was 10 USD, which, you know, is $27 with all my costs and everything. I got 2 cuttings out of it, so kind of split that in half, but so it's a, you know, a reasonable price, I think, for a variegated Wilyiana. I'm pretty happy with it. She hasn't firmed up quite yet, but actually the one I have also is quite, it's not, they don't have as firm leaves as you would expect, I think, but she's cute, look. Okay, what should we do next? So I got a Wilyiana IML 0230, and I bought a 20 centimeter, so a really long cutting, and then I bought 4 of the smaller 5 centimeter cuttings. So I am loving Wilyiana right now. I'm gonna put in some B-roll of the one I have on my desk. I just love it, and I wanted to collect the different versions. So I have, I think it's UT052 that I'm completely in love with, and so I just wanted to collect them. It's very different from the UT one that I have, so it isn't as splashy. Actually, it's not splashy at all, and it does remind me a little more of a Kanosa. So there is a little bit of on some of the leaves there is a little bit of, I want to call it dimpling, but it's not really dimpling, it's just indentation on the leaves. So I will be seeing how this one sun stresses. You'll notice that the ones I have in pon are my plants, and anything else that I will be putting in the shop at some point are in stratum, and I'm all over the place today. Stratum and moss. So this was a super duper long cutting. And I've cut it into numerous cuttings, and you can see it's still, you know, a really good size. This was 5 USD, so with my fees and everything was 13.50 Canadian. And came great. All the plants actually came great. No problems with the roots, but some of them, which I'll talk about in a little bit, have not done well in kind of the week. Yes, it's exactly a week that I've had them. But I'm really happy with this, and I'm excited to see if I can get it to sun stress. It's pretty. I've had a couple of customers ask me if I have Rotundif Flora. I think I'm saying that right. And so I saw they had a 15 centimeter one. It was $12, which is $32.40. I have got 3 cuts out of it, good size cuts, you can see. I have one myself. It's actually peduncling right now, but it isn't big enough for me to cut. I've had it a long time. I find them to be quite slow growers, or in my care they are anyway. So I got one in. Like I said, I got 3 decent sized cuts from it. Shipped pretty well. Lost the top. This leaf is going to go here, and it had a sister leaf that fell off. So definitely going to lose this leaf, but other than that, like, the plant looks amazing. And all the other leaves are nice and firm. We got some good aerial roots. Don't see any roots popping out on the side yet, but yeah, looks pretty good. Rotundif Flora is an interesting Hoya, I think. It, you know, the shape is obviously interesting, but the texture of it is it feels almost fake. I don't know. It's not fuzzy. It's just, it's interesting. It's an interesting Hoya. There you go. You see the patterning on the leaves too. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that one. Okay, what do we have next? What do we have next? Oh, interesting one. Okay, so I bought 30 centimeter cuttings of these plants. 30 centimeters. They were long, and they were $5 each for 30 centimeters, which is $13.50 each. And I have just got so many cuttings from them. So let's start with this one. So this is Hoya pubicalis Black Dragon, and actually I'm going to show you I got a pink dragon too. I'm going to show you them together. They're very similar looking, and I'm going to put in some B-roll because I actually have a white dragon that I got from Eloise at Plentiful Minds a long time ago, and I love it. It hasn't bloomed for me yet, but again, when I think about from a shop, I am going to trellis this, but when I think about it from a shop perspective, I'm going to do, you know, pubicalis bundles with a pink, black and white. So I'm, you know, hoping these will grow out nicely. I do have lots of cuttings of this in a prop box that I can just see down there, that will go in my south window. A little bit of damage on a couple of the leaves, like this leaf will go, but whilst ever it has decent green on it, I will just leave it to do its thing. Obviously lots of aerial roots. Now the pink dragon, I would say is a more mature, probably closer to a bottom cut. You can see the leaves are much bigger again. So they're so thick, this one. So yeah, this is the pink and the black dragon Hoya pubicalis. And next, now we go on to the multifloras. So I got myself a 15 to 20 centimeter Hoya Multiflora Filipina's white margin. And this is her. I love her. I love her so much. Do you see how pretty she is? I want to just show you. The variegation on the leaves is so nice. I do really well with Multiflora, and I sold the white margins that I brought in the last import that I did. I think it was around April time. So I wanted to get myself a nice established one, and it was a bit of a risk, you know. So this one was 15 to 20 centimeters. It was 8 USD, which all in all was $21.60. Which is really not bad at all, right? And I also brought in 3 smaller 5 to 10 centimeter cuttings, which I'm going to show you. I had just kept one out to show you. So these leaves were basically just unfurled when it arrived, and they seem to be surviving so far. You can see the white margin multiflora, the variegation does fade as the leaves age, which is why you can kind of see on this lower leaf there is a little bit, but again it is fading out. But wonderful, wonderful Hoyas if you can get them. Now I have lost a number of leaves. This is the best of the small ones that I got. The others are dropping leaves, and it's likely because I've left them in a prop box for too long. I find that multiflora don't like high humidity. So one thing to keep in mind, you know, they're thin-leaved Hoyas, so again, there's always a risk in when they've been in shipping. And I didn't mention, but these guys were in shipping for a week. They actually arrived in Canada in 2 days, and then they were stuck in customs over the weekend, and so it was kind of a week, really. But not bad. But yeah, so this one, you know, will be in the shop sooner than the other ones, obviously, but I will grow the other ones out and sell them over the summer. Yeah, beautiful. And then I just got some Multiflora Filipinas, just Hoya Multiflora Filipinas regular, that were $1 USD, so $2.70. But I wanted to show you how different this is. I'm going to put some B-roll in of the Multiflora that I have, but look how frilly the edges are on this one. So I've had a Multiflora for a long time, and you can see just how different the leaf shape is on the one that I have. Yeah, I do like it. I'm not going to keep one of these, I don't think. Haven't decided, but probably won't. You can only have so many Multiflora. So we'll see how this does. I got 3 of these, and this is the best one. A couple of the others have dropped leaves too. So again, thin-leaved Hoyas, so you have to, you know, you're investing in these for the longer term to grow them out. I wouldn't sell any of these ones yet. They really need to be acclimated. Yeah, so there we go. Hoya Multiflora Filipinas. Oh my gosh. This one was one I just added because I liked the name of it. So this was sold as Hoya Hummingbird Big Leaves. It was 5 to 10 centimeters or 1 node, and I got 3 of them. This one's mine. Look at the shape of this. I mean, you can see just from this one how it's kind of hanging, why it's called Hummingbird. These shipped beautifully. I've hardened up really, you know, the leaves are firmed up really nicely. Don't see any roots poking through yet, but yeah, this one is going to be mine. And I just love the shape of it. It has another name I will put on the screen. But I'm excited about this. Yeah, I was really happy with this. I just love how pointy and kind of quirky the leaves are. I love it. Did I tell you how much this one was? This was $3 USD, which equated to $8.10 with everything all in. And I got 3 of them. I really love it. It's probably my favorite that I brought in. Okay, next we have 2 Finlaysonii. So I got myself a chicken farm. I see Ferns, you know, Fern shows hers all the time, and I've wanted one for ages, not really been able to find one locally. I would prefer to get it locally, actually. So this was 20 to 30 centimeters, and I did chop this, and I have a cutting that I will go in the shop at some point, and it was $8, which is $21.60. So again, I think I got 3, this one and 2 other cuttings. This leaf has some really lovely splashing. So this is going to go under very bright light. I'm probably going to lose this leaf, right? But it is the oldest leaf. But it is going to go under bright light, and I really want to see how that variegation goes. It's interesting how the leaves are such different shapes. It's one of the reasons why I like it. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. This one has the nicest splashing, which I'm sure is going to turn purple or pink with the light. So I was pretty happy with that. And then I got one that was sold as Filipina black leaves. I don't know, it doesn't really, I mean, it has dark leaves for sure, but I wouldn't call them black. The reason I got this again was because a customer had asked me if I had one, and I didn't. I have a lot of different varieties of Filipina, but I didn't have the black one. This was 5 to 10 centimeters or one node, and it was $5 USD, so $13.50. And I did chop this too. This is the top cut, and I have another one that will go in the shop. This one I'll keep for myself, but again, has some lovely splashing on it. I love Filipina anyway, so I was kind of happy to add those two to my collection. The last plant is a bit of a special one and was a bit of a splurge. It was 20 USD, which is 54 Canadian dollars. So, you know, for an import that I was taking a risk on, it was a lot of money. But I've seen this on Instagram. I'll put some pictures up here of what I had seen that I loved, and I really wanted to get it. So this is Hoya Kanosa Brazil. Now you're probably thinking, Tony, that's just a crimson princess. It isn't, and the new growth doesn't look like what a Brazil should look like, but you can see how curly these bottom leaves are. This is what this will turn into. So there is some confusion about where the Kanosa Brazil came from. It is believed to be a spot, and it's freaking beautiful. Like, I just love it. So this is going into, it's sitting on my desk right now, and I am actually giving it medium light. I'm not giving it bright light. I want to see if I can encourage this kind of curly, frilly leaf shape that is really what makes it a Brazil. But I love her anyway, so I'm very, very happy with that. I will likely lose, I would say, 4 plants, and they will all be Multiflora, the smaller cuttings. I would not bring in smaller cuttings again, I don't think. My thinking of bringing in smaller cuttings, I've only ever brought in smaller cuttings in previous imports. And my thinking is, you know, if you get 3 small cuttings, you have more of a chance of survival. But actually, I think that, you know, the bigger cuttings, which are a little bit cheaper than buying 3, like, let me look. So, go. So this one was $8, $8 USD, and the smaller ones were $3. So it's slightly cheaper to bring in a bigger one. And I mean, this is a good size, right? You got 3 nodes. You got 3 nodes here. So, you know, I could chop that. But here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nodes. Yeah, so comparable, really. But I just think the larger plants, especially for the thin-leaved Hoyas, fare better. So I think that's what I will do going forward, is bring in bigger ones. This will be the last import that we do this year. Obviously, we'll do another one in spring. We've been doing, well, this year we did spring and fall, so just 2 imports. And I'm really happy with both of them. This one, I was a little concerned about just because the weather's got really cold, but as you can see, they all did amazingly well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.